LV stage is really fun. There are a lot of machines to make, but we still need a lot of raw resources. I am not going to show you the boring process of getting resins and ores. The next machine to make is an electrolyzer. It requires a little bit of gold wire. So there we go. After connecting the electrolyzer to the main power circuit, I tried our first recipe of electrolyzing water. Both the recipe and the electrolyzer worked, but we soon ran out of energy. This is because the recipe itself requires 30 EU per tick to work. We have gone through 3 tin wires, which each of them has a 2 EU loss. We are only generating 32 EU per tick using our basic steam turbine, so that means we can only connect this electrolyzer and the steam turbine with a maximum of 1 tin wire in between. So I swapped positions of the machines. After 100 seconds, finally we got our oxygen cell and hydrogen. In the meantime, Elbow make 2 dollies, which are used to transport chests and other blocks with inventories without messing up their contents. It is also a side task. Elbow also taught me to use block of coal cokes to make steel. This will give us a slight advantage, since a block of coal coke is only made out of 9 individual coal cokes, but we can make 10 pieces of steel out of that. The next day, we were attacked by a splitting creeper. Small explosions happened, but we can just repair the roof with dirt. No big deal. The reason I'm going out is that I'm still trying to figure out how to make the Twilight Forest portal, and it turns out that we need to make this portal generator. It requires 4 circuits, so I need to make that. While using the machines, I decided to change the tin wires into tin cables so that the voltage loss is now 1 instead of 2 per cable. I also got the time to take out our hydrogen into our cells and completed the hydrogen cell task. If you could remember, there is a step of making a bolt for making the circuit. I tried to use the extruder to make the bolts, so I need to make the extruder shape for the bolt. However, I found that it is actually only available in MV stage, so never mind for now. Finally, I got my 4 circuits and we can make Twilight Forest portal generator. After surrounding the water with flowers, including the corners, I can throw in this portal generator and it summoned a lightning. Here we go to the Twilight Forest. Let's hop right into the portal. After some lag, we finally arrived. The very first thing to do after arriving a new dimension is, of course, to mark the location of the portal. Time to explore around. Nearby there's a stone pillar with an ore sticking out at the surface. This is a soapstone vein. This reminds me of the purpose of coming into the Twilight Forest is to find ore veins that are only located in the Twilight Forest. So I went back to our home and grabbed my ore finder wand, put in a piece of crushed silver ore, and went back to find a silver vein. On my way back to the portal, I was randomly struck by lightning. I wonder if there is an infernal mob around, but I couldn't see any. Back at the Twilight Forest, I ran a bit to our east and found some sheep, a whale, and there is a cryolite vein containing lead as the primary ore and silver as the secondary ore. The problem is this vein is located right on the edge of the dark forest, which is a biome that should be unlocked later on according to the Twilight Forest progression. I will get blindness and darkness if I try to go in without unlocking the progression. I dug a few blocks down and I even hit the dungeon, which is protected. I need to find ways to dig past the dungeon and somehow avoiding the dark forest. Finally, I was able to expose the lead ore just at the edge of the dark forest. Now, mining with our steel hammer makes things much easier. Our inventory is filled with lead and silver after a short while. While I was mining, I was attacked by a kobold. In Twilight Forest, this guy is to bring a book so that I know the progression to unlock without cheating on the internet. So if you are interested, you can read this book by yourself. But now for me, it is time to go back to the surface. From a distance, I can see the Naga place, which is the first boss that we are going to defeat in the Twilight Forest. In front of me, however, is a crevasse. I see some exposed ores, so I went after them. It is a magnesium vein. And the ores available are bentonite, magnesite, olivine, and glauconite. Similar to the overworld and nether, the veins are now marked on our minimap. This magnesium vein also helped me to complete a task accidentally. I also did some hunting and found a random skeleton spawner. Let's not mess with the infernos. Slightly to our north, there is this dome-shaped mountain. According to regular Twilight Forest, it should contain a lot of vanilla ores. However, there are also a lot of spawners inside, so it should be dangerous. And it is truly dangerous even before I reached the inside. I was surrounded by a lot of zombies, including infernos, fishing zombies, and baby zombies. I was soon killed and returned to the portal. Well, my inventory is also full, so let's go back home and process our ores. I completed the lead task. In the next few Minecraft days, it was just me trying to find a quartzite vein with no avail again, and also just preparing some basic raw materials for our future crafting. So it is probably a good idea just to skip and fast forward. Anyway, it is almost time for this episode. Let's wrap up with this joke. There is this centrifuge recipe in LUV, which is about this helicopter dust. Not the helicopter that you're thinking about, but helium, lithium, cobalt, platinum, and erbium. Both me and Abu Fok thought this is hilarious. If you think this is funny too, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.